One year I had Thanksgiving in America and I thought one of the most delicious side dishes for the turkey was a pumpkin gratin. Now, it was very sweet because they do add sugar to it, but I'm giving it a bit of a jazzy twist by adding lots of cheese and sage, and it is fantastic, not only if you want to serve this with turkey, but with a roast chook. Super simple side. So first of all, you need 1.2 kilograms of pumpkin. You can use any type of pumpkin. I've used a butternut pumpkin and I've cut it into large chunks. So it's about 3 to 4 centimeters thick, and I've steamed it. Now, you don't want to overcook this so it's really, really mashy like baby food. You want it to just still have a slight bite because we are going to cook it again in the oven. So to this, I'm going to add a mixture of eggs and milk. This is just to bind it together. So 2 eggs, a splash of milk. You can season this quite generously with some salt and some freshly cracked pepper. And with a whisk, we're just going to mix that up together. So once that's completely combined, this goes in with our pumpkin. So that's been steamed and I've just allowed it to cool slightly. Okay, to this I will add some nutmeg. Nutmeg and pumpkin, best mates. So I always love to add a pinch of that to it, and also some flour just to bring the whole thing together. Okay, now with a masher, let's mash everything together. And I like it to be slightly chunky, so just mash this 4 to 5 times. And really, essentially, we're doing this just to combine that flour and the eggs and milk. Okay, happy with that. Now we're going to pour this into a gratin dish, any dish you like. Essentially, you want it to come almost all the way to the top. So pour that in. Look at that gorgeous, vibrant colour. I love pumpkin. All right, for our topping, we need a crispy, crunchy topping. Some fresh breadcrumbs. I like to use fresh breadcrumbs, so this bread was 3 to 4 days old. I didn't waste it, cut the crust off, popped it into a food processor and blended it until it's a fine crumb. You could also use store-bought breadcrumbs for this. I'm adding some cheddar cheese. So we want about 2 handfuls of breadcrumbs to 1 really large handful of cheddar, and then some sage. 10 leaves of sage is what I'm after, and just with a knife we're going to scrunch it together, fold it over and finely chop it. Now, it's a hard herb, so it's got an intense flavour, so you do want to finely chop it, even if you have to run your knife through it a few times. If you didn't want to use sage, rosemary is a fantastic alternative because, again, it goes really nicely with our pumpkin. Oh, smells good. Into our bowl. And again, just a small pinch of salt. The cheese is salty enough, but I just always like a little more for seasoning. And just get your hands in there and just gently fold everything together so that cheese is evenly distributed throughout the breadcrumbs and the sage. Oh, that smells good. Now I'm just going to sprinkle this over our pumpkin and quite evenly. You can see it's quite a lot of topping, but extra topping means extra crunchy, and that's what I am after. And just to give it a bit of a helping hand so it goes golden brown in the oven, some extra virgin olive oil. Haven't added any butter to this. The olive oil will do that job. And you want this to be quite a hot oven. You can even have top heating and then the fan on at the same time, so we get that pumpkin warmed up again and also that crisp top. So we say 220 degrees, and that's going to cook for about 20 minutes, or really until that's perfectly golden brown. Pumpkin gratin has come out of the oven. It's piping hot. You want to take this to the table with anything that you're serving it with. I just want to take a little chunk out. That perfect bright orange centre. It's still creamy and soft and slightly fluffy in the centre because we've added that egg and flour. I really want to have a try. A little taste of the pumpkin. It is just divine as is, or even better, served as a side with the roast chook.